Hi, this is Nick with Wolfman Repairs, and today we got a 1602 SEGA Genesis power supply. All right. Now, one of you guys in the comments on my other power supply video said, can we work on a 1602? So I went ahead, I dug one out of my parts bin. Now this one is in pretty rough shape. It's got someone else's repair, and it's missing a screw. So we're not going to go ahead and plug this in because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is the right polarity now, because this here is a center negative. The Model 2 power supplies are center positive. So you can't use this on a Model 2 SEGA Genesis. So let's go ahead, pop her open, and see what's going on the inside. For that, you're going to need a 4mm socket. And now these are usually super tight. I'm convinced they got He-Man at the end of the line when these were new and just cranking them down and go, So you're going to need a little extra leverage. Now for that, I like to get a little adapter to go from 1/4 inch to 3/8, and then another little adapter to go from 3/8 to 1/2 inch. And then you go into the garage and you get your Ugga machine. You put that all together, and then you, yeah, no, we're not actually going to do that. That's overkill. What you could do is get your ratchet on there, right? And then hold it all together, if your ratchet's not broken like mine, and then just give it a pull, like that. Oh man, I need to see the snap-on guy. This ratchet's horrible. There we go. Why are you so broken? There we go. Alright, there's one screw out. There's the second one. I might have to do a video on how to repair a snap-on ratchet. And now you're supposed to have a third one here, so we can pretend. Alright, cool. Got that one out. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Alright, we got a gigantic capacitor. Let's take the shell completely off. Now before we do that, before we take the shell completely off, whoa, hold on a second here. That looks disgusting. Okay, before we move on, I have this capacitor discharge device. Just in case there's any juice in this capacitor, we don't want to shock ourselves or worse. So what you do is you just poke the two leads on the end into the capacitor leads, and this would light up and then eventually drain down the capacitor, so we can't get shocked from it anymore. Say no shockies. All right, cool. All right, let's take this off completely. Okay. Well, I don't know what all this gook is over here. It could be that this capacitor did leak, which is fine. We got a new one of them. So let's go ahead and clean this off with some IPA and a brush, and then we'll go get ahead into the capacitor replacement. Okay. Oh yeah. If you look right there, this capacitor looks like it's leaked. It's either it leaked or that's glue. I can't tell. Let's get this off here and take a look. So for that, we're just going to need to heat up these 2 points and give it a good old pull. At least that's what we're going to try to do anyway. We'll see if it works that way. There we go. And yeah, oh, you can't see. Hold on a second. Let me get it all up in there. Yeah, I would say that is either glue or the capacitor did leak. It's probably glue, but I don't know for sure. Let's see what the board looks like. Well, that's kind of gross. Looks like you could put the capacitor in either hole. That's interesting. It's got larger holes and smaller holes. Or you could put it on this side. Oh, that's why. Okay. It's probably just easier to duplicate the board on both sides. Anyway, stop speculating. Let's get to cleaning. Yeah, it's probably glue. I would have to say. Looking at it now, again, let's grab a little poking apparatus here and let's give it a good poke. Yeah, it's glue. If that was, you know, the stuff coming out of the capacitor, the fluid, it would come off, I would assume. Okay, new capacitor time. All right, here's the capacitors I bought. These are from Console 5. I'll put a link down in the description for you guys. Okay, so this side's got the line on it, so that's negative. All right. Let's go ahead and solder this guy in. Okay. Sweet. Cut off the legs. And we have a new capacitor in our power supply. Looks like I missed a little spot here. There we go. Much better. All right, the next thing I want to check is continuity between the wire ends here and this plug. Okay. We definitely have continuity through that repair, but you know, if I'm going to use this, I want to see what's under here. You know, I don't know who repaired this or when they repaired it. They might have done a great job, but we're just going to take it apart and fix it ourselves. Now, there's a bunch of ways we could go about fixing this here cable. We could cut this end off right here and then attach it over here and have a really, really short power supply. Or we could do what they did here with heat shrink and everything else or we could use butt connectors, or we could get a whole new wire. So I'm going to opt for fixing it like they fixed it here with heat shrink and soldering the wires together. So let's cut this open and see what we got going on inside. Oh, we got 2 layers of heat shrink, appears like. Ow. All right, 1 layer of heat shrink is gone. Let's see what we got underneath the next layer. Okay, so I'm kind of glad we opened this up because it doesn't look like they soldered that repair they did, and it kind of looks a little burnt. Like it looks like it went through this other piece of heat shrink and shorted out. So that is not good. Let's take off this other piece of heat shrink and see what's underneath that. Maybe that's why we're getting the continuity on beeping on both. Okay, so this is what we got. Can you see it? So it looks like all they did was twist together the wires. And it looks all corroded and kind of gross. So we're going to cut this all back. And it appears like this is a different, end on here. You see the wire colors are not the same. Now if this was an original cable, all the wire color would be the same throughout. So we're going to cut this back and repair it ourselves. All right. So first thing we're going to do is give it a good old chop. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any black heat shrink tubing that is this size, so the red one's going to have to do. Strip this wire. Nope. That cut most of that wire out. On stranded wire, you got to make sure that you just strip the wire off and you don't strip the coating off or the casing and not pull all the wires out. Because sometimes that happens. Okay. Just want a little more wire exposed here. All right. Okay, now we're ready to solder this together. So the black one goes with the bare wire, and the red one here goes with the green wire. So I'm going to get some helping hands here. Give me a hand. Hold my stuff. All right, what I'm going to try to do here is try to like spread the fibers of the wire out a bit on both sides and kind of marry them together. Editing Wolfman here. You see how the wires are two different thicknesses? You got this one that's really nice and thick, and you got this one that's super skinny and like got two wires in it. So these wires are two different gauges. So this is a thicker gauge wire than this one here. So don't do this. Don't put these together. Go get the right size barrel jack connector or wire, because this will, yeah, this is not good. This is not a good situation, because you got a lot of current going down this way, and then all of a sudden it bottlenecks into this small little wire. So I'm going to fast forward through this wrong way of doing it, and I will show you the right way to do it after we fast forward through it. All right, back to the video. So I fixed this thing about a week ago, and it's just been heckling me from the desk ever since. You call this a repair? Look at my cord! Just look at it! My cord used to be so beautiful till you arrived. Are you happy with yourself? You call yourself a technician? It hurts! It hurts so bad! Wakey, wakey. Fix me! So we're going to go ahead and fix our repair here. I'm not really happy with it, the way that it came out. We got two different sized gauge wires in here. So that's probably why it just didn't wrap around nice or go together nice. So what I did is I went ahead, I bought one of these things. And what's neat about these things, barrel jack connector, is that you unscrew it and you can put your wires right on it, and it screws back together, and it looks like it's factory-ish. Now this connector here, I don't know what this barrel jack came off of. This was repaired before by someone else. So let's go ahead and rip back into this, cut this cord off, and fix it with this barrel jack connector. Put a little heat shrink over the end here. And this big yellow heat shrink, because this is the only color I have that fits over the barrel jack. Now we gotta make sure that we're setting this up right. We need the center to be negative. So let's grab our meter. Let's see what this one here is. It's not the right one. That was a longer one. Okay, so the small part is negative, and the big one should be positive. Okay, you see on here, center negative. So let's open this back up and just make sure that we have the correct wire on the correct spot. 4mm ratchet. Let's go ahead and discharge our capacitor again. Okay, so negative should be the side with the stripe. So that's that side there. On our capacitor, so that's from our capacitor negative to here. This is our negative on the wire, and our negative on the wire is green, it looks like. Let's just see. Yep. Okay, so we verified that, so we don't need this out anymore. We could just put this back together. We don't need you anymore either. Sir beeps a lot. Can't forget to put this on. Next thing I'm going to do is put a little flux on these wires because I'm going to tin them up. Okay. So the green wire is negative, so negative is this top little hole. So let's see if we can get our wire in the top little hole. We've tinned too much. Try to reduce the thickness of this a little bit. Okay, so that's not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of get it on there and solder it on there. Kind of like that. And then we can worry about this positive one afterwards. Or maybe we should do the positive one first. Yeah, let's do the positive one first. See, the positive one has this little hold down dealy where you put the wire in and then you crimp on it. Like that. And it'll be easy to solder that one in place. A little more flux. Okay, that should be good to go now. Now for the, ow, that's hot. It's definitely connected to the outside. Now for the inside one. Okay, we got it like that. We're just going to solder it in place, hopefully. More flux. You guys probably weren't able to see much of that. I'm sorry about that, but there you go. It's all soldered on there. Nice. Now we probably should have just left this open so we could test continuity. So let's reopen it. Grab our meter. This one should be the green one. It should be the center. This one should be the bare one, which should be the outer. All right, sweet. Let's put this together. Come on, there we go. I want this piece to go this way. we go, got the black piece of heat shrink. Well, it's not going to go through. What I was trying to do is get the black piece of heat shrink around this stuff, but it doesn't look like it's going to make it around it. So that's all right. We'll put this cover on. And there's our repair. Now what I want to do with this piece of yellow heat shrink, if it ever gets around to where it needed to be, is I want to put it around this like this, just so that it holds it in place. I kind of don't think we need it. It's a little crooked, actually, too, if you look at it. That's just the way these things are. They're kind of cheap. These barrel jack connectors that you buy. I think it was $4 for a big package of them. So, let's see if I can get it to center up. Not really. All right, last thing, let's test it out. Well, let's slam it back together again and test it out. All right, I don't think we need this piece of heat shrink. I'll cut that off later. Let's just give it a try. Get our meter out. Make sure center negative is center negative before we plug it into a system. We don't want to blow anything up. All right, nothing exploded, so that's good. Center, outside should be positive, center should be negative, and we have 13 volts. If it was the other way around, if we reversed it by accident, see how it's got a little negative sign? So we did not do that. We have it correctly. Sweet. All right, well, let's test it out. Test it out. I'm here, SEGA Genesis Model 1. All right, plug you on in. Got the red light. And we got SEGA. All right, sweet. So that's how you go ahead and repair a, what is this, a 1602? What does it say? Yeah, 1602 Model 1 power supply. You could either cut it and try to, you know, twist wires together or whatever you want to do there. But I find that this barrel jack connector thing is pretty neat. So I will link a description. Oh yeah, I'll link the description down below. I'll link the barrel jacks down below so that you can pick up some for yourself in case you got a cord like this and you want to do the same repair. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it very much, and we'll see you next time. Do you feel better now? So much better.